Good news! You're signed up for the webinar. I'm Dee Linz, and I will be your host. I am an entertainment industry executive, and I launch entry-level talent in Hollywood and have done so for many years. I've been contacted by Hollywood Talent Services and asked to help a number of new talents prepare some audition tapes for their upcoming productions. This series of upcoming productions, including new talent from all over, is one of the most revolutionary and exciting opportunities I've seen for unknown talent in a very long time. And I think the timing is also good for everyone because part of what I've been doing this year has been a pre-launch for an online training program designed to find and help new talent launch from outside New York and Los Angeles. This is something I've had in mind to do for many years. That's why I'm seeing their request of me as a perfect fit for all parties. I'll help you get your auditions sharp, give you a ton of free info, and you'll have a chance to be part of my first test group if it's a good fit for both of us. If it's not a good fit for you, you'll still get a metric ton of top-level free info that I guarantee will leave you miles ahead of wherever you started in this conversation for the low, low price of free. I'm going to do my very best to help the maximum number of you get cast in these productions, which will be a win-win for both you and Hollywood Talent Services, and maybe even teach me a little about how to do what I'm trying to do online for the first time. So, looking forward to seeing you in the webinar. And for now, why don't you grab a pen and paper? I want to give you a quick tutorial. I want to show you a quick 3-step process that I take new talent in Hollywood through that works really well to get them prepared for auditions. I'll wait a sec so you can grab a pen. Imagine this scenario. What if you were suddenly able to easily stand out in any crowd as the sort of talent that casters regularly want to have at their auditions? What if instead of all the struggle and worry about losing a precious opportunity, you knew exactly how to give casters what they're looking for, showing them not only your talent, but even more importantly, all of your untapped potential? What if you knew exactly what casters wanted and were able to easily, simply, and comfortably present your very best self every time? What if you had access to the sort of coaching and assistance teams that are usually available for only the most promising new talents in the entertainment industry? What if you were able to easily show not only your talent, but also all of your potential so that the right professional might see and be inspired and get you all the way to the most important place of all, so that the right people could see and be inspired to help you get to the all-important insiders community, where new talent gets molded and polished and sometimes all the way to superstardom? Sound like a stretch? I used to think so too. Until it happened to me. In the past 10 years, I've placed hundreds of new talents in productions and bringing them to for the first time to red carpets and helping them to get the break they need in entertainment. I've also used the exact same thing I'm about to show you to become one of the most successful and sought-after consultants to new talent in the entertainment industry today. The thing that got me there was finally getting to spend some time on the other side of the desk. So here's some pictures of me with new talents in Hollywood, on red carpets, at film festivals, at premieres, taking them through training for some of the very best productions in Hollywood. But until now, there was very little highly qualified help for anyone living outside New York or LA. And launching yourself from outside the bigger hubs in the entertainment industry is very tricky. You need a proven formula. In fact, if you're launching yourself now and you're not getting the results you want, it probably has nothing to do with the way you look, or how tall, or short, or young, or old, or how fit, or thin, or curvy. It usually isn't even dependent on how talented you may be. Because at the end of the day, it's not how right your type is for the part or even what script you use. Want to know a secret? It's all in how you present yourself or your child. And there's a formula for what to say and do and how to do it right. Here it is. Let's talk about some pretty easy things you can do to stand out online and start attracting the right attention, get some work, avoid all the confusion, frustration, and time wasting. The first thing we're going to talk about are your online profiles. Social media, your websites, your talents and casting sites, working powerfully even while you're off doing other things. So whether it's a social media account, your own website, or even a casting site, we need to fine-tune these as powerfully as possible so they can do the very best work even while you're off doing other things. I'm going to talk to you about a few things that you can do pretty simply to get a whole lot more attention. Ways to look like someone with the right stuff even if you're only just starting out or maybe have no experience at all. Profile pics and headshots. This can seem like a little thing, but it's maybe the biggest thing, and I'll explain why. Now, sometimes people use their headshots as profile pictures, and sometimes when you're new, you may not even have a headshot yet. Still, your main photo, the first one people see, is your first impression, and it's the number one thing that gets someone interested and deciding to click and see more. Or search on and find someone else. The smiling commercial headshot is what you need, and I'll show you one in a minute. The one shot I can assure you will get the most clicks and work is the smiling commercial headshot. It books by far more work than any other single shot and should definitely be your first choice. It's the best. The smiling commercial headshot books more work in general than any other. When it's done right, it's the photo equivalent of a great fitting pair of jeans. It is the number one most booked photo. Hey, no one shot is perfect for every single situation and casting, but the smiling headshot is going to be more appropriate for more things than any other single shot by far. So I always advise my clients to start with a strong commercial headshot for their best first impression. Again, they get more work by far than any other type of shot. Use them, and I'll show you how to make it easy. The headshot you use for your profile should be professionally shot. It should look like an industry standard headshot, showing your full face clearly and extending down past your shoulders to about the middle of your chest. Here's an example. Listen up now. Let me tell you why it's very, very important that you get this part right. No selfies, no family portraits, no school photos. Seriously, these work against you. I'll tell you why. One of the things we see a lot these days, and/or sometimes headshots that are like selfies, family portraits, or school photos. These are really great photos in general, but they will work against you, and I'll tell you why. I've worked with new talent for a very long time, and I know how tempted you are to DIY your photos. New talent often tells me, Miss D, I can make myself look better in my selfies than anyone else can. And I get it. Some have knockout selfies and even very large followings based on one of these great looking photos that they or their friends take. I can see why they would believe that that serves them better than what they might consider a boring headshot. Again, I actually thought that myself at one time too. So let me explain why I'm saying this. No click, no audition. No audition, no chance. Pros can be very hesitant to use a complete beginner because they have no faith that you, even though you may be very good actually, will be able to get the job done. For this reason, I recommend that you get a highly professional looking commercial style headshot. Without the pro looking headshot, making them think that you're probably experienced, you may never get that all important first click. No pro headshot simply makes you appear as if you're too new and inexperienced. It makes us think that you may not know anything at all about the industry, and that makes you seem kind of risky. In that split of a second while scrolling down a page, just a little bit of doubt will very likely lose you that click. There goes your chance. So, when you're using anything else but a perfectly industry standard looking headshot, we will assume that you have no experience. So, it will probably get you passed over by casters in many situations, even when a casting says no experience necessary. We are hoping that you have some knowledge of what you're trying to do. So again, even if you are pretty familiar with what to do, no pro headshots make it look like you don't. So you don't get the click, and they never get to see what potential you might have to offer, even though you might be brand new. Though we know that there is always some great new talent waiting to be discovered, usually in that moment, a pro will think it's too risky, because a newbie can fail in so many ways. They don't even know yet what demands are going to be like, and they may break down, be irresponsible, or sometimes stop showing up at all. And this actually happens. So you don't get the click, and they will never get to see what potential you might have to offer, even though you might be brand new. So don't do this to yourself or your child. You need this advantage first. First priority online is to get the click, so you can have the chance to show them more. Yay, you got the click. Imagine the applause. Then, number 2, let's talk about what else needs to be in your profile in addition to photos. Once you have the click, what is there for a potential caster to see is, of course, also very important. So let's review all of the text in your profile and reflect a professional entertainment branding from their point of view. Now let's write some text in your profile from their point of view. What I mean by their point of view is that you should write directly to what the caster wants to find instead of about what your desires are. Let me explain what I mean here, because it will help you a lot, and it's pretty easy to do. Give them what they want. When you write your text description of yourself, your child, and describe your skills and talent, write what the caster wants to find and cast. Such as, I'm very experienced in taking direction and doing whatever it takes to help a production succeed. I'm a very seasoned team player and committed to my craft and bringing the best possible performance and results to all projects I'm involved in, no matter how big or small my role. This will make you look professional and appeal to your casters from the point of view of what they need. We often see newbies write or say things like, I have always dreamed of being an actress and asked my parents to help me since I was 5 years old. Johnny loves attention and being in front of a camera. I hope he can get the chance to do more auditions because he loves to dress up and go see people looking for child actors. Or my daughter loves to be the center of attention. She's happy when she makes people smile and laugh. Listen, we pretty much know what you want. It's usually been a reasonable amount of time, and most artists want an opportunity very much, just like we did. So we're already assuming this. When talent says that, they seem too new, still unstable, and not yet ready. So don't do this, okay? It's kind of like saying in a regular job interview, I hope I get the chance to have a big fancy office with at least one large window and a really great view. I've always dreamed of having a killer office. I'd love to have my family and friends admire my workspace. Now, you wouldn't say this because it's clear that in a regular job interview situation, it's not going to be helpful to mention the details of what you want for yourself or how much you've been wanting it or for how long, That wouldn't help you because it's clear in that situation that the employer is wanting to hear how you plan to provide them with what they want rather than the details of what you want. And it's the same in Hollywood. So now you know how to write your descriptions in your online profiles. Good job. Perfect. So let's move right on to number 3. People have a lot of hopes and dreams around their ambitions to get into entertainment, and casters know that. It's not like they don't like to make people happy, but their job and their futures depend on casting people who can give whatever is necessary to the production. So talk to them about getting them what they need if they cast you. You'll do much better when they're deciding about whether to cast you. The entertainment industry is really not so hard to understand when you have some information and someone on the inside to explain it. It's simple, really, once you know how. Most people walk away from a meeting with me feeling very relieved and hopeful. They just need a little info, and I've learned to help newbies because I was a newbie once myself. So I've been where you are. Now I actually love to help. Because once you know the truth, it's just simple, clear, logical information, and it's much easier. That's all people really want, to see that they have a fair chance to get some clarity about what it would really take. And you begin to see that it's not so difficult to understand how you could actually do this in your life, if that's what you want to do. So wait a minute. Let me make this very clear, that this is not what I think everyone should do, or that I believe that everyone can or should make entertainment a full-time gig. I'd just like to let you know what's possible and to help those that need the info to build their lives as they want and choose to build them. But you are free, the choice is yours, and you're free to make any choice that you may already be feeling is right for your life. This may even be something you're already clear about wanting for your life, if that's your dream or your happiness. Now, you have some information to help you make it a reality. That can change your world if that's what you want. I'm just talking about what's possible. All right, on to number 3, your resume. Yep, I know it's likely that you have little to nothing to put on it, but fret not. I've got a great option for you, and you're going to love this one. Audition tapes and talent reels. These are going to be big opportunities to turn things significantly to your advantage if you know how to use them correctly. So let's talk about how you can start to turn the tide in your favor in a big way. If you have no experience to put on a resume, you should make a talent reel. So let's talk about the concept of a talent reel first. Generally, in all casting situations, talent is asked to submit a headshot, photo, and up-to-date talent resume detailing all of the roles in all of the productions, the companies, the directors, and the dates they did each job that they've had in the industry. In the case of new talent, some of you, likely many of you, may not have headshots, and because you are new, you do not have anything to place on your resume. There is, by the way, a very specific and unique format, a 3-column entertainment industry resume. And if you have multiple credits, you likely already have the knowledge of how to format that. If you do not, you can look it up online for now. I'll get you some more specific information about creating an appropriate resume and other talks later. But for now, I want to make sure that we keep all this information chunked down into clear and simple pieces so it's super simple to understand and remember. What are talent reels? How can they help you? If you have no experience to make a resume from, here's a simple and winning way around that can sometimes get you more than someone with lots of credits and experience on the resume. So, you're going to show yourself and your potential instead of just staying stuck behind your lack of experience. And talent reels can save you there because they give you that way to show yourself and your potential instead of just staying stuck there behind that lack of experience. A talent reel equals a brilliant opportunity for you. The brilliance of a talent reel is that you can show what you can do right there in video. Then casters can watch you show them what you can do, no matter where you live or where their offices are. It's a simple way to get your start. Little FYI, talent reels are generally used in the industry to show clips of the work that you've done in film, TV, and commercials. It's a visual presentation of your work. But in the case of talent with a lot of credits, it shows some of the stuff on your resume and the quality of those projects and the performance so that everyone can view them. Meanwhile, it's perfectly acceptable to create a version just showcasing yourself performing individual scripts as examples of your work when you're new. So, what you need to do is get some very short scripts. Monologues are the most simple because you can do them without needing anyone else to participate with you. They're scripts created for one actor to perform alone. I'm talking 3 short, easy scripts: a comedy, drama, commercial. So, what you can do is tape yourself doing a great job with the 3 types of scripts. Again, 1 comedy, 1 drama, 1 commercial. Just some very, very short, simple pieces where you can appear doing a good job and looking great. So, you'll make it very short and use a specific formula. The entire reel should be very, very short. And of course, there is a very specific formula to make it perfect. I'll give you some more info on how to perfect that coming up here soon. But I don't want to make this tutorial too long or complex, or it gets difficult to remember all that you've learned. So I like to keep it short and well-focused instead. All right, there's obviously a lot more to say, but I love to keep this simple, relaxed, and fun, without the overwhelm factor, because that will slow you down. It affects happiness. Love to keep it easy. So let's talk about the webinar. I've got even better stuff for you in this webinar. Okay, you want to know a secret? This is going to be my first online gig. I've never done this from outside my office in Hollywood before, and I am kind of excited. We're going to keep it simple, super focused, as I said, and way powerful, like this was. I'm going to tell you how to make a great online audition tape and get you rolling on this stuff so you can start getting some results for yourself. And that's what you're here for, right? So, hope that you can get something going with this and that you're looking for and get whatever you're looking for your life and your future. Okay, so I've got the date and time at the bottom of the screen. I'll have my office send you some more reminders so you don't even need to write this stuff down. I've got you. For now, I've got you anyway. Okay, so I have something else for you. It's one of the most interesting things I've ever done. For me, it's kind of an experiment, but with my long years of experience, I'm completely convinced that it's going to work. And I've really been dying to try it for the past couple of years, but there never seemed to be enough time. So here goes the sales pitch part. I'll let you know that I'm not going to do a big sales pitch for a few reasons. First of all, I'm really questioning how much time I have to do this online stuff. Like a lot of people, I do really want to try it out and see if I could do some cool stuff here. But my first priority has always been to do an excellent job. And at this point, my career, that's going pretty well in the office. What I am going to do is to take a few people and do some stuff online with them to show it can be done long distance, because I know it can. Just like the talk we had today and the online auditions we're going to do, this can be done online. And though nobody of stature in Hollywood seems to agree with me yet, I do believe this will catch on eventually. So for now, what I want to do is take a limited number of unknown talents and coach them online. I want to create a private, membership-only community to help them launch and get the info they need to get rolling. I want to see if I can start doing it more as a regular thing. So for now, I want to start with a very limited number of people so I can be sure to be able to give all that I want to give in that program without getting overwhelmed in other areas. So I thought I'd extend this to those doing this webinar first, because you're a smaller number of people, and I imagine there's a good percentage of unknowns in this crew. Let's make this simple. I'm not a salesperson, nor do I have the time nor interest to get into that. So here's how this is going to work. I'm going to tell you what I have, give you a very special price so that virtually anyone can afford it. And I'm going to explain to you what I'll give you and how much it's going to cost. Here's what you need to know about this. I'm not going to lower the price later. I don't even know if I'll ever offer it to another group of people because I want to keep my private online training group small while I figure out how to make this a smooth sort of a thing and whether or not I can do more work online. While I'm figuring that out, the only way this is going to work is for me to keep the same level of excellence I do in my office with my talents. So here goes. I have a school, I have courses, and private and group coaching for my talents, and I have never offered them to anyone else. No one else outside of California or New York anyway. But today I'm going to offer 3 things to you, and I'm going to discount them so much that I know that I'll get all of the online private membership I need. Then I will close the online offer and work with them until I decide either to do more online or close long distance work and do face-to-face only. Okay, so here's what I'm going to make available to you right now, because this is what I know well that you need the most. I have 2 courses that I give to the people in my office. One is Killer Talent Profile Blueprint, which I charge $3.99 for, and the other is Killer Talent Reel Blueprint for $3.99. If you'd like to buy either one of these separately, they're $149 each. It's a little bit more than 50% off, but if you'd like, and this is what I'm hoping that a number of you will do so I can make my small private online coaching group, you can get them both right now for $79, plus I'll give you 1 month of membership in my exclusive membership-only online training community, because I want to get a small number of people and do this for 1 month to see how this goes. I can tell you one thing, you are going to get an awful lot. So what I'll do is take the first 2 weeks and go over Killer Talent Profile Blueprint, and then the second 2 weeks we'll go over Killer Talent Reel Blueprint, and I'll give you a really good deep training on both of those, and you'll be able to ask me questions and you'll have a lot of my undivided attention. If this works well, I'm going to do more of this online, but probably no one will ever have more of my time and energy than this first group, except for my private talents that I train here in Hollywood. So that's the offer. And that's the whole salesy part of what I'm talking about. I got to let you know that I can only take a few people. Then I'll close it to see if I can take any more. Meanwhile, if you're thinking about taking me up on this, please do it ASAP, because I'm not going to do this offer for long, and it's totally on a first-come, first-served basis. When I have my first group filled, I'm closing the private group, and that's staying closed unless and until I decide to expand my business online. So that's it for the tutorial. It's been fun, and it has me really looking forward to helping you with the online audition portion of this project. In the casting webinar talk, we will go over how to dress, how to get the video sounding and looking great, show you how to introduce yourself, what to say, what not to say, generally all aspects necessary to present a winning video audition and start getting some parts. So thanks for your time today. Really looking forward to seeing you in the webinar. The date and time is going to come up next. See you there.